We spend so much of our lives online, but have you ever really stopped and thought about it? Like, who actually owns your digital life? Well, today we're going to take a look at a company called ENTIFY. They've got this incredibly ambitious mission to build the foundation for a whole new kind of digital world, one where you are finally back in the driver's seat. And really, it all kicks off with this super simple yet really powerful idea from ENTIFY. I mean, it sounds so obvious, right? Your digital life should belong to you. But the thing is, the way our internet is built right now, that's just not really the case. And this one sentence, it's the core idea driving everything we're about to dive into. And that leads us to the central question, doesn't it? When our data is being tracked everywhere we go, our private messages are scanned, and our online identities are just accounts managed by giant corporations, who's really calling the shots? This is the fundamental problem that ENTIFY is trying to solve. So to really get what their solution is all about, we first have to get a clear picture of the problem. Let's break down the huge difference between the digital world we have now and the one they're trying to build. Okay, so this slide really lays it all out, side by side. On the left, you've got our current world. It's a mess of surveillance, corporate control over our data, and an economy driven by speculation. But then on the right, ENTIFY is proposing this sovereign world, and it's built on three really strong pillars: total privacy, you having individual control of your own identity, and an economy based on real, actual value. It's a massive shift in who holds all the power. So how in the world do we get from here to there? Well, ENTIFY's answer starts with something they call sovereign identity. And you can think of it as the cryptographic key that unlocks this entire new world. So what on earth is sovereign identity? Okay, think of it less like a username that a company gives you and more like a digital passport that only you can ever possess. It's totally private, it's held by you, and it's locked down with cryptography, which makes it absolutely impossible for anyone else to copy or steal it. You are the one and only owner, period. And this just shows you the simple but kind of brilliant logic behind it. It all starts with you owning your identity. Once that foundation is solid, then you can truly secure your data and your private communications. And once your identity and your data are both protected, you can finally transact with real trust, knowing exactly who you're dealing with, all done privately and securely. Now, I know this might sound a little bit abstract, but ENTIFY isn't just playing around with concepts. No, they are actually building the physical tools to make all this a reality. We're talking about products you can actually hold in your hand. So their flagship product is the ENT phone. On the surface, it's a privacy-focused smartphone, but it has this one crucial difference. It has what they call a secure enclave built right inside. The best way to think about it is like a cryptographic vault on your phone for all your most sensitive stuff, your apps, your data, and eventually your sovereign identity. And here's the kicker. This is what makes it so different. This digital vault, it can't be opened with just a password or your face. No way. It only unlocks when you physically touch your personal NFC identity card to the device. So what does that mean? It means even if someone steals your phone, without your physical key, your most important digital assets stay completely locked down and safe. And the ENT phone isn't their only product. There's also the Mini ENT, which is a little USB device that brings that exact same physical key security to your computer. What's out right now is their asset registry. This system uses secure NFC tags to attach a verifiable digital history to a physical thing, like a piece of art or a collectible, which proves its authenticity and its entire ownership history. Pretty cool. Okay, so these tools are the building blocks, but you have to remember they all serve a much, much bigger long-term vision, and that is creating an entirely new, private and high-trust digital economy. This future they're building is called the Equity Network, and wow, it is a complete ecosystem. As you can see, it's got everything from private communication to cryptographic banking. The whole goal is to let you tokenize real-world assets, like your house, on a special kind of proofless blockchain, which is really just designed to be super efficient and fast. And the whole network is powered by this stable unit of value called the equity token, which aims to get rid of those wild price swings you see in other cryptocurrencies. Now, to make an economy based on real value actually work, you need a totally new way to measure it, right? Well, the economic engine for this whole equity network is an app they've developed called the Fair Price Oracle. And this quote just captures the goal perfectly: measuring life, not money. Instead of just tracking speculative market prices, the Fair Price Oracle uses this mathematical model that looks at things like production costs, energy use, and human labor to figure out an asset's fundamental economic value. It's a pretty radical attempt to create a more stable and, frankly, a more fair measurement of what something is actually worth. So, okay, we've talked about phones and networks and even economic theories. Let's bring it all the way back to that first simple idea. Why does any of this actually matter to you? When you boil it all down, everything we've just discussed comes from this core philosophy. It's the belief that technology should be there to empower us, not to monitor us. It's the belief that your identity is yours and yours alone to own, that your private conversations should actually be private, and that economic value should be tied to real human experience, not just what the market speculates. And that really leaves us with this final thought. ENTIFY is making the case that true digital freedom, or sovereignty, isn't just some vague idea. It's a technical reality that actually has to be built from the ground up. And they argue that the very first brick in that entire foundation is a secure, private, self-owned identity. The big question is, are we ready to start building with it?